Yes, indeed. That narrow tunnel off to our right. That's where most people are looking just now. The Dundee United fans in the Eddie Thompson stand at that end of Tannadice, waving the tangerine and white flags in the air to welcome last season's championship winners. The flag is sitting on its plinth in the middle of the park, just on the halfway line. And this is going to be a little moment for the United fans to celebrate the achievements of last season. They would rather have not had to go through that, of course, but they had to, and they prevailed by 6 points ahead of Raith Rovers. That wasn't good enough for the Fifers, given what's happened to Ian Murray today. Just 6 points separated them. It was a valiant effort by Raith, but Dundee United proved they were the best side in the second tier last term, as Jim Goodwin joined Robbie Neilson and Jimmy Brownlee as second tier winning Dundee United managers. The Dundee subs just making their way to the dugout just now. We will shortly see the Dundee players emerge as Ross Docherty, is the club captain here, takes the championship trophy out onto the pitch. Of course, Dundee were going through this 12 months ago. Both these clubs have been up and down like a yo-yo over the last decade. And the Dundee fans who are surrounding us here in the main stand, the Fair Play stand, are giving Ross Docherty some abuse as he takes the trophy over to the staging for the flag. Championship winners season 23-24 will be hoisted by Ross Docherty. The Dundee players are now out. We've got 6 on one side, 5 on the other, and they will greet the Dundee United starting 11 now. You can barely hear the United fans as the flamethrower shoots up into the air. There's 2 of them actually either side of the halfway line. Because the Dundee fans are around us, that's what you're hearing, probably drowning out the cheers from the 3 ends of Tannadice to our right, left, and the George Fox stand over on the far side. The United players get the guard of honour. They're now making their way towards the SPFL representation who are here today. The handshakes for all of those players, many of whom in the United ranks today played a part in last season's success. It was their 5th season in the second tier out of the last 8. That's not good enough for Dundee United Football Club. It really isn't. They had 3 back in the Premiership. There was a bit of a roller coaster then as well. I think Mickey Mellon and Tam Courts, Liam Fox, eventually Jim Goodwin. And the United players off to the left, the Dundee players to the right. And eventually the flag will be risen, but then it will be down to business. There's the flag hoisted by Ross Docherty. And a little mini celebration. And Dundee United do not want to have to be winning the second tier again anytime soon. That is for sure. This is too historic a football club. It's the same for Dundee. The closest rivals in British football. Yards separate them. But this has been a fixture that hasn't adorned the fixture card often enough down the years. So Willie Miller, when you think back to Dundee United's campaign last year, they were pushed by Raith Rovers, but I don't think there was any doubt that they were the favourites at the start of the campaign, and they came through it eventually. And it was a good season for them.
They did, yeah, and you know, it was dealing with that expectation. Wasn't it? You know, they found it difficult at times, and Raith Rovers obviously played a huge part in making sure that it was difficult up to the last few games of the season. But they were the strongest unit. They had the best players. You know, the expectation was there. I think that Jim Goodwin dealt with it extremely well. And eventually they came out on top. But this is where United should be. They should be in the Premiership. They should be in the top tier. They're a big club, as are Dundee, and it's just great to see them both competing against each other here this afternoon.
There's the flag and the staging being dismantled. The players peel off to the right, United, to the left, Dundee. And the 2 captains, Luke McCowan of Dundee will shake the hand of David Babunski, the North Macedonia international who's impressed in their League Cup matches. And he's got the skipper's armband. Ross Docherty unavailable, of course. And Luke McCowan is the skipper in the absence of Joe Shaughnessy. He's just taken his seat down below us. As part of our TV coverage at St Mirren Park on Thursday evening. But this is quite the fixture on week one. The fourth time the Dundee derby has been on the opening fixture list for a top-flight season, and this is an opportunity for them to lay down a marker against their neighbours. See Simon Murray down there, and he's the latest to have played for both these clubs in this fixture. He's done so in the Tangerine and Black before. This is the first time he's done it in the dark blue, and that is where he leans, the Dundonian. So perhaps a dream come true for Simon Murray. Is Dundee kick off, left to right in the dark blue and white. United in the Tangerine and Black. Dundee shooting towards the Eddie Thompson stand, and already as the long ball comes out to this near side, Ethan Ingram has taken a really heavy blow. He's on the deck, and Dundee will get the free kick and a chance to load the box.
Yeah, I think it was more an awkward fall. You know, there was a challenge, and I'm not sure did the referee give a free kick for it, but he certainly seems to be in a bit of pain down there. But he's back up. You know, Ingram there taking a heavy knock, going down. I think it was more the fall that caused him an issue, but he's bounced right back up.
Yeah, it was the landing. So it's just a throw-in by the looks of things rather than the free kick, and the problem with his shoulder, but he's going to be okay. Ethan Ingram, he's arrived at Dundee after 9 years at West Bromwich Albion. He was on loan at Salford City last season, the right wing back. As Dundee pick up on the right with Cameron into the box looking for Murray, but it will be launched clear by Ross Graham on the edge of his penalty area, and Dundee United get it clear. It's going to be hooked forward though there by Portales into the United half. It goes, it's off the head of Graham's, flicks it to his right where he's helped out by Sevelj. Another one of the new signings on show, the Croatian from Dubrovnik, and it's United who'll get a free kick over on that far side. Van der Sande is brought to the ground. It's just inside Dundee territory over on that far side. Van der Sande has been preferred to Louis Moult. Joins from Den Haag in the Netherlands, who were fifth in the second tier last season. He scored 13, 8 assists on top of that. As it's rolled back into the United half for Gallagher. Long ball down the right-hand side, but he's off target with the pass, and it sails behind for a goal kick. They can be quite frenetic occasions, these. It's important, particularly perhaps for the new signings, and anyone who has not perhaps taken part in this fixture as well, to just keep the head and bed themselves in if they can. Yeah,
it is important, Liam, that eventually happens. I think the early stages of these derbies tend to be, you know, about the emotion and the fans, you know, really wanting to see some heavy challenges going in and some frantic play being played, and the ball going, you know, back to front very quickly. But it will settle down, I'm sure of that. You know, there's some very decent players out there on the pitch and want to see, you know, a good and productive game of football.
Gallagher goes back to his goalkeeper, and it's Jack Walton with the long right football forward. The header's won over on that far side by Luke Graham of Dundee, and it comes all the way back into the United half, and it's nodded back to his goalkeeper by Kevin Holt, who'll be getting booed by the Dundee fans all afternoon long, given he turned out in the dark blue once upon a time. And again, another to make an appearance for both of these clubs in this fixture. And breaks to McCowan, who had a wonderful season last time around, out to the left-hand side, midway inside his own half for Zayed Larkesh. He's lost out. United pick it up, and it's Van der Sande into the penalty area. An opportunity here, Trapanovsky, and then the shot gets fired at the goal, the near post, and behind for the corner. It was really good run forward there by Vicko Sevelj there. He got the shot away with the right foot, and it's turned behind by McCracken for the first corner of the derby. We've played 3.5 goalless minutes.
Good positioning though, you know, from McCracken in goal. You know, he's got to make sure that he's got that near post. There was a really tight angle as the shot come in on him, and he just made himself big, and he got the deflection out for the corner.
He just flipped in towards the 6-yard box. It's headed clear, and then McCowan takes it down on the far side under pressure from Holt, and he gets it through the legs of Holt to the delight of the Dundee supporters. McCowan, and he just gets it to Silla at the edge of his box, and he rifles it clear into the United half, but it's nodded back to Jack Walton by Miller Thompson, and it's picked up here by Walton, and just rolls it out of his penalty area, and he'll launch it forward with the right foot into the Dundee half. It's helped on its way by Van der Sande. Trapanovsky leaps, doesn't get anything onto it, breaks to McCowan, flicks it forward looking for Murray. One back by Holt for United, up to Van der Sande, but the free kick goes against him, and it's going to be a Dundee ball midway inside their own half. It is United 0, Dundee 0.
Yeah, still hasn't settled down yet, is it? You know, it's rather scrappy first 5 minutes to the game. Really, no one getting control of the ball. The ball's been, you know, turned over very quickly, played, you know, particularly long in most occasions. You do hope that, you know, after the first 10 minutes or so, that it does just settle down a little bit. The players get a little bit of room, and they're able to actually pass the ball to each other.
Dundee's last win here at Tannadice was in August 2004, almost exactly 2 decades ago. A Lovell penalty, one from Sutton, was enough to secure a 2-1 win. Archibald's late goal was merely consolation for United. This is a fixture that tends to go with the home team in recent times. And slipped in field to Jordan McGee. His foot on it, just turns it to Portales to his right, and back forward to McGee. Picks up in the middle of the park here into Murray. A little ball to Silla. He sold him a little bit there though, and United have it back. And it's with the number 7, Christian Trapanovsky, another of the North Macedonians Jim Goodwin's brought here. And it breaks down at the cusp of the attacking third, and it's slipped back to the keeper, McCracken, who clears. On that far side, it is launched forward by Sevelge. They're aimless with Portales. Squares it to McGee. Just outside the centre circle now. Right-footed low ball to his left for Ethan Ingram. And back to McGee. Slips it forward into the centre circle. It's a really good challenge by Gallagher. And then it's Trapanovsky letting fly from 30-odd yards out, and it's well wide of the left-hand post. But from what I understand, Willie, both Babunski and Trapanovsky could make the difference for Dundee United this season. They've impressed in those League Cup matches. Yeah,
they're both talented players, different sorts. You know, more Babunski, a more sitting midfield player, and Trapanovsky, one that likes to get forward. I mean, I think he was a little bit ambitious there, I must admit. 30-plus yards having a strike, didn't look on at all. He had opportunities, he had the teammates up there as well before he decided to pull the trigger, and it was a bad decision for him. But these two, I think the United fans are hoping that they will make a big difference this season.
Well, Dundee came from 2-0 down to manage a draw the last time this fixture was staged in April 22. And the header comes forward for United. Silla stoops low to get his head onto it, and he's being fouled by Van der Sande, says David Dickinson, who's the referee this afternoon. And that will be a free kick to Dundee, right of the centre circle, and everyone bar John McCracken's now in the United half.
Yeah, they've got a bit of height there as well, Dundee. You know, it's about the delivery of the ball now. You know, it's got to be a good delivery into an area where these tall defenders can go and actually cause a bit of mayhem in the United box.
Really good conditions for the game. It's an overcast day, slightly breezy. There'll be a free kick here, which is taken by Lyle Cameron to the left-hand side of the box, and it's headed harmlessly behind by one of the Dundee players at the back post, trying to get onto it. It was Luke Graham, and it was behind for the goal kick to United.
It was too wide, wasn't it? You know, I think you've got to, you know, Cameron's got to try to direct that ball a little bit closer towards the goal. He's put it right out to the edge of the penalty box. Difficult one you know, for any defender to get their head on it and put it back across. In fact, it's quite easy to defend the way out there as well. So the quality wasn't there on the delivery.
Silva with the challenge down on this near side, puts it out. Trapanovski will leave the throw in for Will Ferry. Arrives at Dundee United after a couple of years at Cheltenham. And the number 11 bowls it infield, and well read by Portales, just nicks it back off Trapanovski. It's back here with McCracken. First time, high ball, hangs in the air up towards the halfway line, and it's met by the head of Holt, who heads it all the way back to McCracken, who collects it from just outside his box and takes it back into the penalty area, where he will pick it up. Jim Goodwin and Tony Docherty down there, 9 minutes in, 0-0. Both look relatively calm and sedate at the moment. Ross Graham shields it from Murray, and it's behind for the goal kick. And Simon Murray having a little go there at Ross Graham. I'm not sure what the problem is. The big defender was simply holding Murray off as he chaperoned it behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, not a great deal in it. You know, I think early in the game, Murray just trying to impress the importance of this tie to the big tall defender, Graham, down that right-hand side. I think both managers will be hoping that the game does settle down. I think Dundee maybe settled a little bit better than United. United is frantic. They are, you know, really putting Dundee under pressure, and there hasn't been much room for, you know, either team to put their foot in the ball and actually pass it and be productive in terms of passing football. So I think both managers will be hoping that that's not the case for the remainder of this tie.
Yeah, it's funny the number of players who have played for both these sides. There's loads and loads of them down the years. Declan Gallagher, there's another on show today against Murray. Holt there too. There's Portales wide in the right, midway inside his own half. Long ball might break to Cameron here. He's not going to be able to keep it in play. He skips away from him. He was in behind the defender as well, and it's going to be a goal kick to United.
Yeah, came off the surface really quickly there. You know, Cameron not being able to get his foot on it. But again, it's a speculative ball. It's I think it's meant for Simon Murray. Actually, it goes over. It's overhit. Goes over his head. Cameron, you know, makes a good fist of trying to get on the end of it, but it goes out for the goal kick. So, you know, you just hope that, you know, some of the players, you know, midfield players in particular, they've got quality. Both sides have got quality in the middle of the park, but we haven't seen it yet.
These two have struggled for opening day victories when it comes to the top flight in recent times. Dundee haven't won an opening top flight fixture since 2016. Here come United, who haven't won one since 2014. It's pulled back to Babunski, who hits it high from just inside the penalty area, over the crossbar, onto the roof of the shed. And that is a big chance for Babunski, and he knows it. It stays nothing each. Yeah,
he knows it himself. He doesn't have to be told that he should have done much better. Got the head over it and directed it on target. Good work down the right-hand side. Cut back to him, and it's just perfect for him to run onto. You know, he's obviously lost his concentration there. He's perhaps had too much time to think about it as well. But really, that has got to hit the target. Big opportunity wasted.
We're still waiting for the first goal of the Premiership season, albeit it's just the third game. As that slipped through, could be an opportunity for Trapanovski. Goal! United lead the derby on match day 1, and Trapanovski scores the first goal of the Premiership season. Shed end at Tannadice against their neighbours. What a way to start your league career for the Tangerine and Black half of the city. It is Dundee United 1, Dundee 0.
Cool, calm, you know, and with a fair bit of accuracy as well there from Trapanovski. You know, Van der Sande just sets it up perfectly for him. But, you know, the chance earlier from Babunski, it was a bit like that, where you've got to have the confidence, you've got to get your head over the ball, you've got to control it, find the spot, pick your spot, and make sure you hit it. And that's exactly what he did as he drove it into the back of the net to give United the lead.
Really cool finish, Trapanovski firing it into that right-hand corner. And he's pointing up to the sky just now. The United number 7 will just wait and ensure that This isn't ruled out for anything. David Dickinson just delaying the restart. There are flares on the pitch, or smoke bombs on the pitch, so they're going to have to sort that out. And it's billowing tangerine smoke all around the United half. And what a start to the season that is for United. Back in the big time, and back the big derby goals. And the latest to score in this fixture, their number 7, Christian Trapanovsky. And he looks as though he could be an excellent signing. We have seen him in the group stage of the League Cup, and that's already his 4th goal for the club.
He's one that's only one thing in mind, and that's if he's up against an opponent, he wants to take the opponent on. If it's general play, he wants to get himself forward into dangerous areas. Exactly what he did there. Great run into the box, totally unmarked by the Dundee defence, and then the calmness and the coolness just to steady himself, just to open up his foot. Good bit of pace in the strike as well. Perfectly found spot low to the goalkeeper's left as well. So a really well worked goal down the right hand side, eventually falling to Trapanovsky, who didn't make any mistake with the finish.
Well, the delay continues here because there is still one of the pyrotechnics in the Dundee United goal mouth, so they're going to have to wait until that's clear. I don't know if Stephen Thompson's on mic just now, maybe get his take on the start United have made here in Trapanovsky scoring that opening goal of the Premiership season.
Yeah, I'm here, Liam. Yeah, I mean, I think Willie's right. I mean, the start of the game was frenetic, nobody putting their foot in the ball, but the efforts in goal have come from Dundee United. Trapanovsky, Babinski with the one over the bar just minutes before the goal went in. It was actually a brilliant run and vision from Van der Sande. His run through, he felt as though he was going to take the shot on himself, but saw out the corner of his eye. Trapanovsky was there, cut it back to him, and the finish is really, really good. Not that easy a finish to execute because the ball was having to be taken on in the volley, but he made a really clean connection and a brilliant start for United.
Game on now. Dundee will have to react. Plenty of resilience last season. We finished in the top half. Here's Lyle Cameron down the right. It comes, and it's picked up here by Ingram. Back out to Cameron. Looks up the United box. His cross is brilliantly cut out there by the sliding Will Ferry. But it is going to be a Dundee corner, I think, down on this near side.
Yeah, Dundee will be looking for an early response from that goal going in.
It's actually, it's actually a throw-in. I think Coach Ingram's going to take a long throw-in right down by the corner flag. But
Cameron doing well down the right-hand side again. He's been pretty prominent to find a bit of space down this right-hand side, but it was well blocked.
Bowled into the United box, headed away by Holt. Helped on its way by Trapanovsky. United looking to hit in the counter, but Silla gets there, hoofs it out to that far side. Murray chases, he isn't getting there. He's not just a Dundee player, he's not just a Dundee supporter, he's also a former Dundee United player, and that's why he's getting all kinds of abuse here today.
Yeah, the United fans were enjoying that as he tried in vain to keep the ball in the pitch. It was always going to be a difficult one for him, but certainly the United fans over the far side from where we are certainly enjoyed Simon Murray running aimlessly towards the ball and it going out for a throw into the home side.
That goal going in on 13 minutes. And it is United who have the ball over on the far side. Forward there is Miller-Thompson. The pass is cut out now for a throw in to United, which is taken quickly by Sev Elge. Dundee have it back quickly though, and McCowan's done well. Out to Murray on the left, works it back to Luke McCowan in the box, tried to pull it across. Murray's there, saved, but it will surely be tapped in, and it is! Dundee level within minutes through Palmer Holden. Brilliant work by Luke McCowan down the left-hand side. United gave it away cheaply. Murray's effort was saved low by Walton, but Palmer Holden was there to rifle it home. This simplest of opportunities. And it's United 1, Dundee 1, and this season's caught fire finally after 2 goalless games yesterday. 2 early goals here at Tannadice, 1 apiece.
It just felt perfect for him. I mean, really good work, McCowan initially down that left-hand side, but Murray having a big hand in it as well, with the final strike at goal, as it was saved by Walton, and it's just parried out to Palmer Holden, who isn't going to miss it. He's inside the box. All he has to do is get it and target, and he does exactly that. So a great response from the away side to get back in level terms.
Palmer Holden scoring his 4th as well of the season, as Trapanovsky did. He got a couple against Cali Thistle last week in the League Cup. And the season's officially underway now, isn't it? Trapanovsky challenged brilliantly by Portales, who finds Lyle Cameron, who chips it up towards the halfway line. Palmer Holden's there, and it's going to be collected by United on this near side with Ferry. Back to Gallagher, who goes back to his goalkeeper. This is what Willie Miller was hoping he'd be seeing when he pulled up at Tannadice earlier on. A vibrant atmosphere, 2 early goals. And here come United again. Dundee a little bit sloppy at the back to get away with it. And it's with McCowan, who flicks it forward, looking for the Dundee goal scorer. But it's going to be launched forward into the box, claimed by McCracken to the right of his penalty spot, with Trapanovsky lurking. Breathless stuff, Willie.
It is, yeah. It's been high tempo, isn't it? Even, you know, when it wasn't particularly easy in the eye, and the ball was being dispatched, back to front too regularly. The goals just ignite the atmosphere here, one apiece, so, both sets of fans happy at times. Obviously Dundee, hitting back early with that first goal that United scored, so they'd be delighted to get right back in the game so quickly.
Siddled, looked like it was fouled by Silla. He was. The referee gives a free kick to United, not too far out their own penalty area. There were just about 5 minutes between the 2 goals, but of course there was the lengthy stoppage. So in truth, there's probably only a couple of minutes of football played between the 2 strikes. And Trapanovsky gave United the lead, cancelled out by Palmer Holden. New signings making huge impacts at the start of their respective careers, of the either side of the divide of the city.
Yes, absolutely. I've watched Trapanovsky. I've been well impressed by him. I haven't. This is the first time for Palmer Holden, but strikers are there to make an impact. They're there to be in the right place at the right time, and he certainly was there to make sure that finished in the back of the net.
Dundee coming forward with Ingram. It's a really good run from him infield to Murray. Murray trying to hold off Babunski, slips it to the left of the centre circle. Dundee have it here with Luke Graham out to the left-hand side. An opportunity perhaps to cross for Lakesh. His little pass forwards cut out by Babunski. Cross in from McCowan is headed away. Picked up over there by Luke Graham again. Out to McCowan on the touchline. Level the edge of the D of the United box. Poor touch by Silla. Allowed Sevelge to win it back. Miller Thompson driving forward down the far side, and the sliding challenge puts it out for a United throw-in over on that far side by Luke Graham. And it's going to be a throw-in just a couple of yards inside Dundee territory.
Certainly keenly contested the game so far from both sets of players. Really strong challenges, but most of them have been fair. Most of them have been pretty accurate. There's been 1 or 2 that the referees had to pull up for a free kick, but it's the importance of this game that's been shown out there. Referee getting in the road of that ball there, and it's just been restarted by United.
Slipped out to this left-hand side for Trapanovsky, level with the Dundee 18. Back the way it comes to Ferry. Opened up a little bit for him there, and he's slipped it out wide right. An early ball across. Goal! United! United back in front! What a game this is! And it's the Academy graduate Miller Thompson who gets onto the back post to fire it low into the bottom left corner. Another simple finish, and United have their lead back. Dundee United 2, Dundee 1.
Well, we have been treated, aren't we? Another goal, in quick succession. 3 goals. Miller Thompson, this occasion, the ball coming from the right-hand side. It's drilled right across the face of the goal. He picks up, the perfect spot. Again, can't miss it, really. He's just got to get his foot on it. He does it. He keeps his concentration, and he slots it into the back of the net. So, United again taking the upper hand, getting that second goal to give them the lead once more.
That's brilliant work by Sevelge down the right-hand side, and he fired it across. No Dundee defender could get to it, and Miller Thompson couldn't believe his luck at the back post as he knocked it home. The 20-year-old, he made his debut in the United first team at the age of 17 against Celtic back in March 22. And he's just exalted his United career there. He spent the first half of last season on loan at Montrose. And what an impact. A Dundee derby goal for Miller-Thomson. And United are back in front. A quarter of the game only played, 3 goals already, and it's so open. And here come Dundee with McCowan at the edge of the area. Palmer Holden rolls it back to Ingram. They're on the attack here. The cross cut out by Sibbald, and out for a throw-in on this near side to the D. So they got to react again to Dundee. Sibbald's gone down belatedly after taking the ball flush in the face. I don't blame him. Surprised he didn't fall to the ground immediately after that, smacked him in the face.
Yeah, it was travelling at a fair speed there, you know, and it's certainly taken a wind, you know, his face. It's definitely his face. I thought it was maybe caught him in the throat, but no, it looks as though, yeah, he is holding his throat there. Yeah. So, you know, you get the ball travelling at that pace, it is a sore one, and it takes you a little bit of time just to recover from it.
2-1 Dundee United as McGee. He's put it back to McCracken, a little bit too much force on it for the Dundee goalkeeper's liking. He had to kind of spool back a little bit there to make sure he got onto it. Long clearance from McCracken down this near side. Ferry lets it go behind for the throw into United down by the corner flag. Off to our right. What a game this is. Stephen Thompson watching this one in the studio. 3 goals were being treated today, Tomo.
Yeah, after yesterday's false start. I mean, the opening 10 minutes weren't that great, but, you know, the last 10 or 15 minutes have been absolutely superb. Obviously, Dundee responding really quickly to the Trapanovsky goal with a tap-in, but then United, it was really, the ball in from Seville is absolutely magnificent. First time right across the face of goal, and fair play to young Miller-Thomson coming in at the back post for a tap-in, a moment he'll never forget. But this is brilliant. What a game.
3 goals in 10 minutes. As I said, there was the stoppage after the first United goal, so only 3 minutes and about 8 minutes of football. They're throwing on this near side for the home team, and Holt to take it. Relative calm on the pitch just now. Bedlam in the stands. Ball forward from Holt. Will be knocked back into his own half by Van der Sande. On this near side with Trapanovsky. Challenged by Sila. Out to play for a throw-in. It goes United's way. And Jim Goodwin down there barking the orders. He must be absolutely delighted, because when Dundee equalised, they've been hugely frustrated that they didn't hold on to their lead for longer. As Holt picks up from his own goalkeeper, he's under pressure though. He got no time on the ball, Kevin Holt, and he gets away with it, but he's just giving it away again. Here's McCowan to Murray, tries to slip it back to McCowan, but it's United picking up Babunski, but he gives it straight to Sila. Back into the Dundee half it goes. Over to that left-hand side for Luke Graham, eventually over to Portales. Plays it short to Jordan McGee, midway inside his own half. Little ball back to Portales. Walking pace up to halfway. And out to the left-hand side for Luke Graham. Turns it back to Portales. Dundee will have to try and come from behind for a second time. Portales has it under control, up towards the halfway line. Squares it out to McGee on this near side, and then he goes back to Portales. A lot of passing going on for Dundee, not too much purpose in it at the moment though. No,
I think United are particularly happy with the shape. They're just going back into a back five. They've obviously got the lead back again. They're more than happy to do that, but then they're pretty keen whenever the ball comes into their own half to go and press it. I wouldn't say it's a high press, because they're retreating basically into their own half, and then when Dundee advances into the United half, that's when the press comes on.
27 and a half on the clock. St Mirren Hibs is a 3 o'clock kickoff. Celtic Kilmarnock is a 4:30 kickoff. Sports Sound has all that covered throughout the afternoon this Sunday. It's going to be a throw-in to United on this near side. Holt takes. Comes off the head of Van der Sande and out for a throw-in to Dundee on this near side. The new recruits, it was the same with Hearts yesterday. In certain areas specifically, but when you look at the new signings for United, they're all making an impact here. Sevelj had the first shot of the game, which was saved. He then puts the ball across for United second. Trapanovski got the first. And Palmer Holden with the Dundee goal. That's exactly what you want from your new signings, isn't it? If you're a manager, you want them to hit the ground running.
That's certainly what you hope for. You know, I think invariably, you know, managers are bemoaning the fact that it can take certain players a little bit of time to settle in, but the new recruits on both sides have settled in very, very quickly indeed.
Dundee have it on the left-hand side. He's rolled back to Luke Graham, level with the edge of the centre circle. It's now with McGee. United just trying to keep to their positions. Quite happy for Dundee to have the ball by the looks of things just now. Protecting their lead as Cameron picks up and finds McGee. Out to Luke Graham. Just pushes it forward, trying to get Larkesh involved. Can't do that, but Silla has it back in the midfield, and there's a speculator from Palmer Holden from about 40 yards, which is sliced high and wide, and it stays United 2, Dundee 1 here at Tannadice, and we have played 29.5 minutes.
Well, a wasted you know, situation from Palmer Holden on that occasion. You know, Dundee doing really well to win possession back, and he's a good 30+ yards out. Then it's never on to have the strike at goal. You know, really speculative. He doesn't even hit the target either.
Ball's in the midfield with Simon Murray, right of the centre circle. He was looking for McCowan, but McCowan can't control. Van der Sande finds Sevelj out to the right-hand side. It's with Thompson for United. Back to Sibbald. Sibbald under pressure from Cameron, goes back into his own half for Gallagher. Side foot ball along the grass to Babunski in the centre circle. He turns it out to that right for Ross Graham. Into Babunski. His pass forward is cut out by McCowan and out for a United throw-in. He's good stock, Babunski. He was a youth player at Barcelona. He played with, in that youth team, Fulham's Adama Traore, Lazio's Patrick, and the Leverkusen Euro 2024 winner Alejandro Grimaldo was in that side as well. And the Spaniard, as Ross Graham pumps a long ball out to the left-hand side of the box. It's nodded back in field by Ferry, picked up by Trapanovski. Ferry has it again, gets himself away from his first man, pulls it back to the 18-yard line. Babunski's onto it and he shoots wide. What a chance that was. Side foot effort from Babunski. The goalkeeper's given that up, by the way. McCracken hasn't even bothered diving for it. If that's on target and it was aimed for the bottom left, it's a third United goal. It stays 2-1 to the hosts.
I think they're holding it up. Babunski is claiming to the referee that there was a little tug. There might possibly have been a little tug. I don't know if it was enough to put him off. But a big chance. Again, good play down this left-hand side, and Ferry cutting it back for the midfield player. And for me, he's got to show more composure. He's got to, you know, hit the target. That's a couple of opportunities he's had and he's wasted.
Dundee have it in the midfield. McCowan to Silla, but he's lost it. He's had it nicked off, and by Babunski, he slides in and wins it back off Van der Sande, though. Brilliantly done by Silla. Here's Lyle Cameron. Out to the left-hand side, just slightly behind Larkesh, who's onto it now. Trying to get the beating of Sevelj, he slides in and does so well. Let's turn back to Cameron. Dundee trying to press, looking for a second equaliser. It's with McGee. And he rolls it with the right foot to the left-hand side. It's with Cameron. Larkesh on the touchline. He plays it forward to the left angle of the box for Murray. Tries to work it back to Cameron. Doesn't get there. Cameron gets onto it the second time of asking, though it was a little bit sloppy from Miller Thompson on that occasion. There's Cameron to McCowan, left central area, left-hand side of the box. Silla, opportunity here for Dundee, perhaps is pulled back towards Murray by Larkesh, but United have bodies in the way and they get it clear, but it's gone out for a throw-in to Dundee over on the far side, about level with the United 18.
Yeah, Larkesh doing well, but equally matched by the Dundee United defence. They're quite happy to just fold back into that back five. They're making it really difficult for Dundee to find any spaces in behind them or in between the three centre backs and the two wing backs. They've got the lead as well, which makes it a little bit easier for them to be confident to just sit in a defensive shape and allow Dundee to come at them.
Here come United. Ferry down the left-hand side on the overlap. He's got Trapanovsky. He's level with the Dundee penalty spot. He's found Ferry at the byline and he pulls it into the side net. Really good build-up play by United. Jim Goodwin said at one point in the summer, Willie, he wanted to potentially change his entire 11 from last term. Well, his new signings are on point here.
No, they are, and he spoke about, you know, on the transition, he wanted to be very quick in the transition. That's exactly been played out this afternoon. You know, United going back, quite happy to go back, but when they win possession, they're streaming players forward with a great deal of pace. Ferry on that occasion, Trapanovsky linking with him, and then Ferry really, you know, wasting the opportunity.
Just going to go behind for a corner for Dundee. It's a little touch, takes it behind the byline. Ethan Ingram put enough pressure on Ferry to ensure that he got the corner out of that. And it will be taken on this near side in front of the Tannadice tunnel by Larkesh. He's on loan from Queen's Park Rangers. The referee just sorting things out inside the penalty area, and it's Ferry and Murray. They're standing in front of Jack Walton, and he's keeping his eye on. And it's a short corner, rolled to the right angle of the box for McCowan, and it comes, headed away well by Ross Graham. United will go for a Dundee throw-in over on the far side as we edge ever closer to the half-time interval.
Good strong defending by Ross Graham there, going to meet the ball. Really powerful header out. It's a decent swollen cross from Luke McCowan, but Ross Graham, you know, spotted the danger. He takes responsibility, and he, as a good defender should do, and just clears the danger.
Simon Murray on the far side. Low ball into the box is easily cleared by Gallagher. There's no fewer than 7 academy graduates in the Dundee United matchday squad today, as well as all these new signings. You want to see the young players progressing as well. Dundee have a few as well listed in their squad today. There's Babunski picking up a loose ball, but he wanted too long on it. McCowan pinches it off his opposite captain, and out wide left for Murray. Murray now will take on Sevelj. It's a poor pass straight back to Babunski, and United are able to get it away.
He's got to do better. Simon Murray, you know, he's not been in the game. He hasn't been prominent. He is, you know, working, doing his usual running from side to side, but you know, he's got a lot of time on the ball there. He's got to make sure that he's finding the blue jersey, and he gives possession away, and you know, it's right into the hands of United, who are happily just sitting back and allowing Dundee to make these mistakes, and then hitting very, very quickly on the break.
Dundee on the ball with Murray, rolls it back to McCowan. McCowan taking his time over his next move. He slips it out to Larkesh on the far side. He runs into Sevelj, who wins it back. Infield to Sibbald. There's another who wanted too long on it, and Dundee have it back, and it's Cameron through towards Murray. Comes off the defender and back into the gloves of Walton. Sevelj is really impressed today, both offensively and defensively. He's kind of stretched there. He looked as though he might be in a bit of trouble. He's back on his feet now. The lineups in Paisley, St Mirren and Hibs fans for Saints: Balcom, Rooney, Fraser, Gogic, Taylor, Tanzer, Adeniran, Boyd, Muntz, Idowu, Olasanya and Ayunga. I'll get the Hibs lineup in a moment. Here's Miller-Thompson for United, the edge of the box. He shoots and forces the low save from McCracken, and it's out on this near side and cleared well by Ethan Ingram, and out for a throw-in to United on this near side for Hibs. Bursic in goal, Miller, Ekpiteta, O'Hara, Obita, Mariah Welsh, Newell Campbell, Milotnikov, Boyle and Venta, and the returning Kukarevich is back on loan at the club. He was on loan in the club a couple of seasons ago. He's listed amongst the Hibs subs today. Those are the lineups. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff at St Mirren Park. St Mirren against Hibernian, 4:30. Flag Day at Celtic Park as they host Kilmarnock. Sevelj for United on the far side, and that was another opportunity for Miller-Thompson to grab his second there. Give Willie's thoughts in a moment. It's with Ferry. United coming forward strongly here. Angle ball to the right hand side, looking for Thompson, headed away by Larkesh. We played almost 38 here. 2-1 United in the derby. Willie Miller, another opportunity there for the home team.
Young Miller-Thompson, it was a tight angle. You know, he's tried to hit the far corner with it. He's kept it low. He's wanting to test McCracken. He certainly did that. It was a good save from the goalkeeper. Maybe just didn't get it sweet enough But once again, you know, an opportunity for United on the break. They really are taking advantage of any slip up by Dundee, and Dundee struggling, you know, with the pace and the quickness of the transition when United actually get possession of it.
This has been a very impressive United showing, and Dundee have got excellent ball playing midfielders in their team today. McCowan, Cameron, Sela, but even they've been making unforced errors. And through their League Cup group with a 100% record again this season, Dundee weren't unduly troubled at any point. United had to wait to find out whether they were going to go through. Eventually they went through as a best runner-up. Falkirk won their section. They've taken the game to Dundee. They've had the lion's share of the opportunities. Dundee very much in the game though, and it's Murray knocking it back to Luke Graham, out to the left. It's slipped down the line there by Larkesh. Now it's with Murray, lovely turn. Now he's facing the penalty area, but his pass was poor, and it's easily away there by Ross Graham.
Yeah, whenever they get an opportunity, invariably they give the ball back to United. Yeah,
and it's McCowan out to this near side, picked up by Ingram. His attempted cross is cut out, and it comes bouncing off the corner flag and out for a throw-in only on this near side, but he's already shown he's got a decent long throw on him here, Ethan Ingram. Not sure, it's probably the one area where he does have a little bit of a run-up in the United half, because the advertising stops just shy of that area where he's about to take it. Now he bowls it into the 6-yard area. It's headed half away, chance here, and the shot is blocked. They're claiming handball, and it's Cameron from distance, and it goes over the bar, and that will be a goal kick. But I think Sebastian Palmer-Houlden is wanting a penalty here. And it's, I mean, the defender's right in front of him.
I think it was Larkesh that had the strike. It bounces up, you know, rather sweetly for him, and he gets his head over the ball and drives it towards goal. To be honest, I couldn't see if it had a hand or not, but very difficult to get your arm out the way, you know, when it's so close to you, when the strike is so powerful as well.
Well, when you look at Declan Gallagher, that'll tell you exactly what happened. It smacked him right in the midriff, rather than any arm or hand. But even if it had come off his arm, it would have been probably unlikely to have resulted in a penalty. It's going to be a little bit more realistic when it comes to the handballs this season, as Miller Thompson goes after it down that right hand side, being faced by Larkesh, as Willie said, had the strike there at the other end. In comes the cross, headed away, and a decent delivery from Sevelds, picked up by Sibbald in the midfield. Now Ross Graham, the United fans want him to shoot. He decides to accept the invitation, and after Babunski hit the shed roof earlier, Ross Graham has cleared it.
Yeah, the fans were desperate for him to have that strike, encouraging him. I had a smile on my face, hoping that he wouldn't try it. And it went way over the bar. Good defender, but from that distance, I don't think it is his range.
He's got 3/4 of Tannadice begging him to do it. Here's United coming forward, long ball. McGee does get it away. Here is Silla. It's an important time this for Dundee. And at the very worst case scenario, when we go up the tunnel, just one behind, but United are threatening to go two in front here, looking for their third. Miller Thompson down the right, wins the corner, cross cut out.
He's not looking like a youngster, is he, Miller Thompson? You know, he's playing with a lot of confidence. He's got real good pace, and he's direct whenever he comes up against a blue jersey. He wants to take it on, wants to hit the byline, wants to drive it across the face. He's also been asked to go back and defend, you know, by Jim Goodwin at this stage, but you know, he really has a handful going down that right side.
Two United players over the corner on the right flank. Babunski's one of them. He takes it right footed in towards the penalty spot, and it's cleared by Dundee. And it was Larkesh who got the final touch on to that. It ends up all the way back with Jack Walton, who's midway inside his own half, the United keeper. 2.5 of the 45. There will be a few minutes added on at the end, I would imagine. There was the goal celebrations, there was the pyro, which had to be doused after the first United goal, which was scored by Trapanovsky, cancelled out a few minutes later by Palmer-Houlden. It's Miller Thompson, whose goal has Dundee United in front on the opening weekend of the season, and the fixture they want to win the most. Long ball for Dundee. It's forward. Kevin Holt's underneath it, heads it clear. Dundee win it back in the midfield. It's knocked forward by Sheila to Murray, who finds McCowan, who finds Cameron. Out to Ingram on this near side, just stabs it back into his own half for Portales. And a low ball to McGee in the centre circle. Out to the left-hand side for Luke Graham. And back to McGee. Can Dundee find an equaliser before the break? I think there's going to be 3 minutes added at the end of the 45. We're almost on 44. Here's McGee, trotting across halfway. Faced by Van der Sande. Turns it to the left for Luke Graham. Infield to Murray. Murray on the turn. He's done that a few times. He shows a bit too much of it to Ross Graham, who slides in, wins it back. Goes straight to Sela though. Now it's with Cameron, and out to this right-hand side with Ingram. Taking on Ferry. Faced back out towards the corner flag. Back to Portales. First time right foot cross comes in. It's headed away, but not decisively. Sibbald helps it on its way. And Van der Sande wallops it forward up towards the halfway line where Jordan McGee will turn it all the way back to John McCracken, who's officially in his third spell at Dundee. They've all come in the last year. And to go back to Norwich early last season because they sold Tim Krul, then returned in the second half of last campaign. And back at the club for this season. He's had to pick the ball out of his net twice this afternoon. Dundee have it with Luke Graham. Getting it from Palmer Houlden, and then Sela to Cameron, back onto the halfway line there for McGee. Luke Graham chips it forward. Murray trying to control, but it's won back well there by Seveld, who's arguably been the star of the show in this first half. Really has impressed, hasn't he, Willie? We saw the new Hearts right back impress yesterday. United look as though they've potentially stumbled upon a diamond here in the Croatian.
Yeah, indeed. You know, very good defensively. You know, he works really quickly back the park, as all that back five have done. But when he gets the opportunity to go forward, then he's very willing to go forward. Good pace as well, and very direct. And you know, whenever he gets a chance, he's looking to cross it into the box as well. So very good first half from him.
Within the first of 3 minutes that were confirmed as being added at the end of the first half, with United leading by 2-1, and they've got a goal kick here. It's the United fans who are singing. The fixture means so much to this city. Long ball from Walton, helped on its way by Van der Sande. Miller-Thompson controls. He has managed to squeeze it through to Babunski, right-hand side of the box. A little chip at goal, and it's just over the bar. And John McCracken is mightily relieved. It stays Dundee United 2, Dundee 1. Babunski looking to the heavens. He's so close. Almost brilliant execution.
Oh, that would have been sublime, wouldn't it? I mean, Miller-Thompson doing extremely well. You know, fighting off two big, strong central defenders to send Babunski in. Good support from the midfielder, normally the deep-lying one, but on this occasion getting himself forward, and he's just trying to dink it over the keeper into the back of the net. It just gets too much on it, and it just floats over the bar. If it had ended up in the back of the net, it would have been something special.
Throwing United on this near side. It's Ferry to take, bowls it down the line. Underneath it is Sela, and he heads it out for a throw-in on this near side to United, who look as though they're going to go in at the break with a lead. Newly returned to the top flight. And it's been an excellent first half for them. Deserving of their lead. Sela slides in on Van der Sande, and it's out of play for a throw-in to United again down on this near side. This time about level with the Dundee 18-yard line. It's going to be a long throw into the box coming up by the looks of things from Will Ferry. He's a Republic of Ireland under-21 international, though he was born in Bury. I think he's had something thrown at him from the stand behind him. And he's right back up against the wall with Dundee supporters as the throw-in comes into the box from Ferry, headed away by Sela. Trapanovsky gets onto it and shoots, and McCracken as well to not only save but to hold on to it too, because he must have seen that late. A little swivel, turn and shot from Trapanovsky. It stays Dundee United 2, Dundee 1, as Dundee look for an equaliser up the other end in the last act of the first half. Palmer Houlden holding off Gallagher, rolling it back the way, but David Dickinson blows for half-time. Oh, this is more like it. Dundee derby right at the start of the league season. And it's been extremely entertaining. Perhaps not so much for the Dundee supporters, who have seen their side fall behind twice in the game. Trapanovsky rifling United into the lead early on, early-ish. 13 minutes were played. Van der Sande put it on a plate really for Trapanovsky, fired it into the right corner. It's a few minutes later, Dundee were level through Palmer Holden after Simon Murray's initial effort was saved by Walton. And just a few minutes after that, and all these goals coming in a 10-minute spell, where there was a couple of minutes where they had to douse the pyro. Miller Thompson, the 20-year-old, after a wonderful build-up play by Vichko Sevelj down the right, he fired it across the face of goal, and Thompson was there to tap home at the back post. And that all means at half-time here at Tannadice, it is United 2, Dundee 1.
The Scottish Premiership.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Many stay for romance.
Forever starts now. That's what I think in Edinburgh when I start to look for a parking space.
Others for its beauty.
Every building here is a castle and everywhere is magical.
Some come to study.
Edinburgh is where it all started for me, of course.
2 weeks at Napier before they gave you the boot.
But this August, we're there to bring the Edinburgh Festivals to you.
Coming to you from the heart of the Edinburgh International Festival Friends!
The best entertainment from the world's biggest arts festival. We've got theatre, books, comedy and more.
Great live music for you.
As part of this year's Edinburgh Festival!
Listen from tomorrow afternoon on BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
You are still in, well, I guess the early stages virtually of a marathon at Sports Sound this Sunday afternoon, and the fuse has been lit in terms of this season's Premiership after those goalless draws yesterday at Tynecastle and Fir Park. The top flight has exploded into life, more particularly 3 goals in the space of 9 first-half minutes, which see Dundee United leading Dundee at Tannadice. Christian Trapanovsky and Seb Palmer Holden exchanging goals, each getting their 4th of the campaigns. And then a first ever Dundee United goal for the very impressive midfielder young Miller Thompson, who, as Liam was saying, had a half a season on loan with Montrose last time out before being recalled. Well, he certainly made an impact this afternoon, and United generally making an impact, I think. 2-1 ahead at the interval. The highlights tonight on Sports Scene 7:15 on the BBC Scotland channel, not only of this one but of the games that are to come. St Mirren and Hibernian will get there shortly for team news properly, and we'll also have Celtic against Kilmarnock full live commentary. Tomorrow night, Sports Scene on just after 7 o'clock for St Johnstone against Aberdeen, the game that rounds off the Premiership weekend. And remember, every day, wherever you pick up your podcasts, you can get the Scottish Football Daily Podcast, which is published Monday to Friday. Stephen Thompson with us this afternoon. Well, that's been more like it, hasn't it? First 45 minutes?
Definitely. I mean, it's just good to see some goals. I thought the game itself, after the first 10 minutes, was really entertaining to watch. Obviously, you know, it's the start of a derby game, first game of the season. It took a bit to settle down, but I've been really impressed with Dundee United. Obviously, I'd said previously that I had an opportunity to watch them and their new players and, you know, make an opinion of my own, but I've been impressed so far. I think the one player that's caught my eye more than any has actually been Miller Thompson, the youngster, and it's brilliant to see. I mean, Jim's very good at trying to get younger players and push them into the first team, and it's a great opportunity for a young man today out on that right hand side, and he's been excellent. What I've liked about him is he's looked confident, as well, he said in commentary, but he's been brave on the ball. When he receives it, he's not looking just to pick an easy pass back to his full back or something simple. He's getting it and he's trying to take people on. He's trying to make, he's trying to commit defenders every time he gets the ball. Yes, his goal's a tap in, but I think out with that, he's had a couple of efforts. He's taken on his full back at times very, very well indeed. So he's impressed me, as has Trapanovsky on the other side. He's looked very impressive. A lot of really nice touches on the ball. In truth, Dundee United probably, given the opportunities that they created in the game, could be in more than just 2-1 ahead.
Yeah.
Babinski probably with the best of those opportunities. The one that was cut back to him just around about 16 yards out, and he was leaning back over the bar, and then he had that lovely wee chip at the end of the half there, tried to dink the goalkeeper, which would have been some goal if it had come off. But impressed with Dundee United. They have what Jim spoke about before the match. They've executed his game plan very, very well for him. He said that he wanted to, when they win the ball back in transition, be very quick to break, and they've done that every time Dundee have given it away, and Dundee have been sloppy in possession a lot of the time. But when United do win it back, they've got players high and they just break really, really quickly. They've got pace on their side, and Dundee have struggled to cope with that. I think Dundee have looked maybe not nervy, but they've not shown us enough composure on the ball. Far too many giveaways, and really it's been a disappointing performance from Dundee. They got themselves back into the game straight after the Dundee United's first goal. Again, a tap-in. It was actually good work from Simon Murray, who's had a quiet game, getting his shot away, parried by the goalkeeper, and it was a tap-in. But overall, it's been an entertaining first half, thankfully, and Dundee are going to have to really improve in this second half, because that first half performance is below the levels that I think that they set last year as a club.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely, that is not the Dundee that we saw for the most part throughout the course of the last campaign, and not the Dundee that banged in 18 goals in the 4 Premier Sports Cup matches. More chat with Stephen Thompson to come. Willie Miller will be back with us as well. Let's though head to Paisley. It's a 3 o'clock kick-off there. We'll keep you right up to date. There'll be regular updates from the match. Let's get a full rundown on the team news from our reporter Cerdine Ritter.
Hi there, Richard. Yeah, it should be a good one. That's quite looking forward to it. It's a goal fest each time these teams meet. It would seem to me minimum 3 goals a game last season. The average was just over 4 goals a game. 18 in their last 4 meetings last season, including a 2-2 draw here in Paisley. So this should be very interesting indeed. St Mirren, they've not actually beaten Hibs here in a couple of years, and that defeat was Hibs' only away defeat to St Mirren in the last 10 Scottish Premiership visits to St Mirren. So Hibs like this ground. St Mirren, though, they're on cracking form after that nice win in Europe. A couple of changes, rotation for the manager here, Stephen Robinson, with Tanzer coming in for Jayden Brown. Mark O'Hara's got a knock, but Boyd Munce comes in to replace him. The knock we hear is not too bad. So Balcom in goal, Rooney, Fraser, Taylor and Tanzer, Adeniran, Gogic and Boyd Munce, Ayunga, Olasanya and Idowu for St Mirren. Hibs, it's the same team that put 4 past Peterhead in the League Cup, with young Rudy Molotnikov getting the nod for his first league start for the club. So Bursic in goals, Miller, Ekpiteta, O'Hara and Obita, Mariah Welsh, Campbell, Newell, Boyle, Venti and Molotnikov is the fast, entertaining looking front line for the visitors today, Richard.
Cerdine, thank you. Yeah, I think everyone looking forward to this one as well. I'm sure that includes the 2 managers. Let's hear from David Gray and Stephen Robinson.
Well, Stephen, is this the St Mirren manager rotating his squad ahead of a massive European match? The games are coming thick and fast already.
Yeah, well, Mark O'Hara isn't available through injury. He just felt a niggle after the game, which is obviously the down bit about playing Thursday and Sunday. The games come thick and fast, but we believe we've got very good fresh replacements to go in. Keelan's back fit, which is a bonus. Mika Mandron is fit enough for the bench. He wasn't quite ready to start the game, where we probably had made more changes, to be honest, if we could have done. And then we looked at this game. This is the most important game now. For me, this is our bread and butter, and this is where we need to win games.
And you've been raising the bar consistently. It's tough to keep doing that. How do you manage it?
Well, the expectations have risen because of the quality of the players and the quality of the football that they're playing. So when you do that, you have to embrace that, and you have to meet them expectations by doing the same things again, and then trying to better every day what you've done when you walk in the building, be a better version of what you've come in and as a team, as a group and as individuals. And that's the only way we can do it. We're well aware we'll have dips, we'll have times in the season where it doesn't go our way, but you just got to keep believing in each other, which is what this group do.
Should be a cracking season. Looking forward to it.
Cheers. Thanks, Karen.
David, day 1 of the league season, the big question for you, for Hibs this season, what's your expectation?
Firstly, we were looking forward to the first game of the season. You know, all the hard work that's been in place for the last 6-8 weeks to get us to this point. Everything's in preparation for the first game, the first competitive league game of the season, and we're in a good place at the moment. We've got expectations that we've put on ourselves as a club, as individuals and as a staff, and hopefully we can go and achieve that by starting off with a positive result this afternoon.
Absolutely, and for the season as a whole, it's got to be top 6 for Hibs this season, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, I think I've said it many times. Having been at this club for as long as I have, the expectations and the demands of the football club is to try and get European football. That's the target today from the start of the season, but certainly needs to improve from last season. That's very much in our mindset right from the start.
Looking at your team lines today, young Molotnikov is in for a start. It's a dynamic team, it's a fast team, it's hopefully, from your point of view, an entertaining team. Yeah, absolutely. That's what... Again, the demands of playing for a club like Hibs. I think it's great that Rudy gets his first competitive start in the league. He's earned it with how well he's done in pre-season. He's been a real breath of fresh air since he came in pre-season. He's been a player that's been around it a little bit last season, and he's really took his opportunity now and he fully deserves his start. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well he does. Good man, and good luck for the season.
Thank you very much.
That's David Gray. We heard from Kerdy Nidsan chatting with Stephen Robinson as well. Stephen Thompson, just thoughts on this one and the two sides. St Mirren, first of all, I think it's 6 new signings and a couple of loans that have been made permanent. But again, a few players there that we don't know an awful lot about. Hibs 2, been the busiest, it has to be said. Ekpiteta, O'Hora, the new central defensive pairing, and then Kuharevich coming back after that loan spell. Yeah. And Borsik, of course, the goalkeeper as well, following the departure of David Marshall. So your thoughts, your expectations for these two?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously St Mirren are coming off the back of an outstanding European performance. A shame for Mark O'Hara missing the game today, because I thought he was outstanding in the game. But, you know, you heard Stephen Robinson say there, he's happy with the squad that he's got. He's got players that can come in. Caelan Boyd-Munce comes into the centre of midfield, a player who played a lot of games last year. The formation doesn't really change, you know, so basically Tanzer will come in as well at the left-hand side. Rooney, I felt, is a great signing for St Mirren. He needs minutes in his legs. You know, I don't think he's quite fully up to speed. He lasted a good 60-70 minutes in the European tie, so it'll be good for him to get more minutes in his legs today. Again, like for Stephen Robinson, last season and the season before, back-to-back top 6 finishes, European football. How do you go and improve on that as a club the size of St Mirren? It's very difficult to do that, to improve on it, but what you can do is try and maintain it. And I don't think St Mirren, anybody that plays them this year, will have an easy game. We've seen that since Stephen Robinson's arrived at the club. The work rate, the togetherness of the team. They're a difficult team to try and break down, a difficult team to play against. But Hibernian, you know, they've got aspirations of their own to be in the top 6. David Gray obviously taking over the reins. One position they had to sort out was the centre half. I think last season it would be accepted that defensively Hibernian weren't good enough, so they've sorted that out. And when you look at their forward line, there's pace, excitement, talent there. So hopefully, and Kerridine teed it up nicely with the previous matches all been pretty high goal scoring in the last few seasons. Hopefully we're in for even more goals this afternoon.
Less than half an hour until Hibernian and St Mirren get their Premiership seasons up and running in Paisley. We'll have regular updates from that one. We're half time in the first of our live commentaries for this afternoon. It is Dundee United 2, Dundee 1. We were talking before the game, William, a little about the expectations of United, and of course all eager to see just exactly how they would fare when they came up against top flight opposition as they kicked off their Premiership season. They've done okay, haven't they?
They've done very well. Richard, the first 10 minutes or so was pretty frantic and not a lot of football. The game has settled down, and it settled down to quite a distinct pattern where you're seeing United go back into a back five. You know, when they lose the ball, you know, Jim Goodwin spoke about it, you know, before the game, about the quick transitions. What he's doing is he's asking his back five to play as a back five when they don't have the ball. And it's not a high press, you know, the back five are quite happy to go back, you know, maybe 20-25 yards, probably 25 yards from their goal, and defend in a straight line. And Dundee are struggling to find any kind of a rhythm. They're struggling to find any space to occupy. You know, Simon Murray is the type that wants to be running in behind. There's no space for him to run in behind because United are playing so deep, and they've got every area covered with the 5 defenders. And then when United get the ball, very quickly they're on the counter. You know, down both sides of the park, you know, with pace, with directness, and then once they get into an area, quite happy to, you know, drive the ball across the face of the goal. You know, Babunski, his little dink towards the end of that first half, Richard, if that had have dropped into the back of the net, there'd have been some spectacular finish from him. He's had 2 or 3 opportunities. He had 2 good opportunities that he should have done better with. That would have made up for it if he would have managed to score that one. Trapanovski's impressed again. I think these 2 in particular have been good. Babunski maybe not as good as the last time I saw him against Ayr United, but you know, you can certainly see the quality that both these players have. And young Miller Thompson as well, really quick down that right hand side and very direct too. So I think Jim Goodwin obviously will be the happier manager. I think his team have had the better of the first half, and Tony Docherty needing to turn this one round.
They have been a bit of a breath of fresh air, United. Good to see them showing no fears about being back in the top flight. But of course it is just 45 minutes gone. Dundee going to have to improve in the second half, which is about to get underway with Liam McLeod.
Thanks, Richard. Yeah, Dundee United left to right down the old slope towards the Eddie Thompson stand in the tangerine and black. Dundee will shoot towards the shed end in the second half in their dark blue, and Craig Sibbald rolls it back the way, and it will be launched forward by the left foot of Kevin Holt. No changes at the start of the second half for either side. This dull but pleasant enough day in the city of Discovery. United with a 2-1 lead. They've got a throw-in up the pitch here. Sevelge is over it, about level with the edge of the D of the Dundee box. Stolen a couple of feet there down this near side. He bowls it to the edge of the area. It's headed back by Van der Sande out to this near side. And then down the right goes Miller Thompson. He did get onto it. His touch takes it straight to McGee. And Dundee clear their lines. Walton in goal for United. Gallagher, Ross Graham and Holt. Sevelge, Sibbald, Babunski, Ferry, Thompson, Trapanovski, Van der Sande. For Dundee, McCracken in goal, Portales, McGee and Luke Graham. Ingram, Larkesh wide, Cameron, Sela, McCowan, Murray and the goal scorer Palmer Holden. And Trapanovski and Thompson with the United goals. Here's Gallagher in the centre circle. Low ball out to the right hand side, and it is with Sevelge, who's trying to get back onto it from Thompson. They've combined really well in the game, most notably for that second United goal. McCowan stabs it away. Ross Graham elects to go all the way back to his goalkeeper. United certainly not playing like a side that spent the last year in the second tier. They don't look like a side newly promoted, but it's not a club that should be described as newly promoted too often. Too many seasons out with the top flight over the last decade. He's out for a Dundee throw-in on this near side. Dundee, they've only won 1 of the last 8 meetings and just 1 here in 16 previous visits. Not a happy hunting ground, despite it being as close to home as you can get. The ball's out on the far side, and it's going to be allowed to go out for a throw-in for Portales, who bowls it infield to McGee, and he switches it to Luke Graham. Out to Larkesh on this near side. Sliding challenge is brilliant from Thompson, and he certainly left his mark on Larkesh. He gets a round of applause from his manager, because he was partial to those kind of challenges himself when he was on the pitch.
He certainly was, you know, but the youngster's done extremely well first half, and you know, he started a certain pace in the second as well, both offensively and defensively. Good challenge there, and Dundee have got to try and find, you know, an answer to unlock how United are playing. They're finding it really difficult to find any kind of a space. United are a really solid unit, and quite happy to go back into their own half and defend, and then try to exploit the space that Dundee leave on the counter.
McCowan, dink ball into the United box, left hand side of it. McGee can't control, he can only put it behind for the goal kick. And it's a goal kick to United, who lead this game by 2-1. They will be kicking off in Paisley in just over 20 minutes' time. We'll keep you bang up to date with what's going on there. St Mirren take on Hibs. And early in the season, we're seeing some impressive performances. Hearts played well yesterday, and another day could have scored a couple of goals against Rangers. St Mirren saw them in European action on Thursday night. They were impressive there. Dundee United here. Still those two games to come today. St Mirren, Hibs, Celtic, Kilmarnock. And tomorrow, Aberdeen are down the road from here in Perth to take on St Johnstone to round off match day 1 in the Premiership for this season. It's with John McCracken at the edge of his own box, the goalkeeper for Dundee, long with the right foot, easy for Ross Graham, heads it into the midfield, cushion header from Silla. Cameron can't control, but he gets back onto it. He was quickly back onto it as it just settled at Trapanovsky. Here's McCowan on the turn. McCowan looked a little bit leggy in that first half. He's on the ball here, he finds Larkesh, plays it short to Murray. Level with the United 18, back to McCowan, then back out to Larkesh on this near side. Infield to Luke McCowan. Side football back to McGee. United very deep here. Seem quite comfortable defending as deeply as they have been at times, and Dundee have been in possession as McCowan dinks it into the box for Silla. And he'll win Dundee a corner. He smacks it off Ross Graham, and it looks high over the shed roof again. We'll need a new ball, but it is a Dundee corner, and this is the first chance for them really in the second half to try and threaten Jack Walton's goal. They are trailing 2-1.
It is, and they've had plenty of the ball both first half and at the beginning of this second half, but really struggling to, you know, kind of displace the back five for United, who have defended really well.
In comes the corner, drops on the 6-yard line, but it's cleared by Van der Sande. The header from Larkesh finds McCowan eventually down this near side, down the left-hand touchline. Sliding challenge there from Babunski, and United win it back, and it's going to be a free kick for them as well. Larkesh maybe left one on Thompson. It's going to be a free kick to Dundee United, deep inside their own half.
A lot of strong challenges in the game, but you know, I think it's the eagerness to win the ball back at times. It's eagerness to show the fans as well how important this game is, this tie is for both sides, but played in a good spirit.
Dundee touching just about 63% possession in the game, which is perhaps an indication as to how often United have been happy for them to have the ball. A lot of that possession's just been in their own half as well. It's knocked up towards the Dundee scorer, Palmer Houlden, headed away by Gallagher. There's McCowan. Larkesh will chase. McCowan will go down, and Dundee will have a free kick, level with the edge of the centre circle on their left-hand side in the United half.
Yeah, an opportunity again to test United, but they've passed the test in my book so far. The United defence, you know, they've been strong, they've been organised, they've been disciplined. You know, they've put Dundee under pressure when they've had to put them under pressure. They let them have the ball, you know, and asking Dundee whether they're capable of doing anything with the ball. And unfortunately, from a Dundee point of view, the answer is not a lot.
McCowan takes the free kick, hoists it to the right-hand side of the box. It is won by a Dundee head, knocked half away. Here goes Cameron, good play from him to try and keep the attack alive. He's forced wide right of the box, but it's a poor pass straight to Trapanovsky, and then it will bounce behind for a goal kick to Dundee United off Ethan Ingram, and it will remain Dundee United 2, Dundee 1 here at Tannadice. The last Dundee manager to enjoy a victory here was Jim Duffy. Ian McCall was the United manager. He's the last one to lose a home derby in the home dugout here. More than 2 decades on. Is the wait going to go on for Dundee? Long ball from Walton, headed down towards the halfway line and towards Murray there by Luke Graham. United back onto it in the midfield, and it's Sevelji pops up in a central area, knocked forward towards Miller Thompson, who chases, but it's going to be cleared by Portales at the edge of his own box. Silla with a header, then McCowan with a header, finds Larkesh, rolled back to Luke Graham, another really poor loose ball to his namesake Ross Graham, the United player. And it's back with Walton, who comes to the right-hand side of his box and clears into touch for a throw-in to Dundee on this near side. Tony Docherty must be furious with his team's use of the ball today.
It's been a real struggle for them, Liam, hasn't it? You know, they're not under any pressure and constantly giving the ball away and really struggling to find any type of quality to break down this Dundee United defence. And I think the frustrating part of it for Tony will be the fact that they haven't been accurate enough and trying. They haven't been quick enough either. So you know, they've got to speed it up. They've got to be more accurate with their passes as well. But it's laboured, and you know, it's just right up Dundee United street. They've set out their own tactics, and you know, Dundee are really struggling to break them down. It's been a good performance from United and a poor one for Dundee, and Tony Docherty will surely be frustrated.
Going to be a throw into Dundee on the far side. Ingram wins it, level with the United 18-yard line. The Dundee bench sharps the sub-goalie as well as Carson, Astley, Tiffany, Mulligan, Main, Robertson, Richardson and Lochhead. United of Richards, Moult, Odada, Middleton, Fotheringham, O'Donnell, Cleo, Harding, Forbes and Starton. In reserve, here comes a throw. It's actually a bit level with the penalty spot. Ingram will bowl it long into the area, but it's an easy header away by Ferry. Silla, it's not a great touch, and United trying to hit the counter here. Trapanovsky on the left-hand side takes on McCowan, beats him, but he shows too much of it to Silla, who knocks it back to his keeper, and McCracken will dink it forward to McCowan, but he can't control. Silla wins it back. There's McCowan, long ball, looking for Murray to chase in behind, as he loves to do. Out comes the keeper, and he puts it out for a throw-in. He's off his line as Murray takes a quick throw. Bowls it to Ingram, Walton back in position. In comes the cross, and headed away by Gallagher. And now it's Van der Sande looking to try and get Trapanovsky involved on the left. His first time ball goes out for a throw-in though to Dundee, and it will stay 2-1 to United.
That's the first time that Simon Murray's been able to run into any kind of a space. You know, United being caught out a little bit there by them giving the ball away needlessly on this occasion, and Simon Murray looking to go down his right-hand side and find the space for once, but you know, nothing coming of it at all. You know, when they get opportunities like that, they've got to make the most of it. They haven't had enough chances like that this afternoon, and whenever they come along, whichever you know, however amount they get, then you know, it's got to be more controlled. You know, they've got to show more composure. I haven't seen composure. I think that's a word that's missing from their game this afternoon, from Dundee's game, is composure when they get the ball, when they get the little opportunities in and around United's box.
Sports Sound here on BBC Radio Scotland. Week 1 of the Premiership season and a Dundee derby, and Dundee have won a free kick down this left-hand side, as Willie was talking. And it's going to be level with the edge of the D of the United box, a couple of yards from the touchline, as they attack the shed end Tannadice in the second half. McCowan will take, left by Cameron, left-footed from McCowan towards the back post. Header from Ingram back towards McGee, does get something onto it, nodded towards goal. United have enough in the way to get it clear, and it's Miller-Thompson who rifles it away, and now there's an opportunity on the counter. Real opportunity in behind for Trapanovsky, one-on-one with the keeper. He's knocked it towards goal, but Cameron keeps it out and behind for the corner. Trapanovsky's looking for a foul on him just as he entered the box. He's still on the ground, but he will be left to rue that he hasn't put that in the net and given Dundee United a 2-goal lead. Dundee cut wide open.
They were totally unorganised there. Trapanovsky getting the opportunity to run from deep in his own half with no Dundee player other than the goalkeeper between him and the goal, and he goes through. He didn't look confident in his run up to it. He's maybe too straight. He's running too straight forward, and he's just tried to dink it over the keeper into the back of the net. There is a bit of contact. There is a bit of contact.
They're checking it, Willie.
But I think he's played the ball first, and I think Cameron Cameron has done a great job in sprinting back to clear it off the line, and I'm with the referee.
In comes the corner. It's flicked away. Silla trying to get something onto it. United trying to keep this alive. Holt chasing it. Larkesh gets there. He's challenged well by Gallagher, and he was out for a throw-in on this near side for United. We'll maybe get to Tomo in a moment. He's had the chance to see a replay of that penalty claim after Trapanovsky found himself one-on-one, but we'll let this attack finish first. And it's going to be a long throw for United with Ross Graham to take level with the penalty spot. Looking for someone in Tangerine on about the 6-yard line. Van der Sande is there. He doesn't get anything onto it though. Graham comes back to, heads it into Thompson, and it's a comfortable take for John McCracken. Stephen Thompson in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, for me, he's really got to score. If he scores, the game's pretty much done. I don't see a way back for Dundee if he manages to score. 1v1 with the goalkeeper. He goes for a wee dink, does not get enough pace on it, but you have to really credit Lyle Cameron for the way he never gave up and chased the ball back, clearing it basically a yard off the line. But for me, he's got to score. There was contact from the goalkeeper. It wasn't in the box, so if it had been given as a foul, it would have been in the edge of the box.
There you go, as McCowan knocks it down the left-hand touchline for Larkesh. He's at the byline. Dundee attacking this time. In comes the cross ball. It was just a bit too high for Lyle Cameron. There might have been better options behind him. But Dundee still have it on the right-hand side with Ingram. Pulls it back into the box, and Van der Sande puts it behind for a Dundee corner. It's swinging from one end to the other right now here at Tannadice.
Yeah, it is. You know, Dundee desperate to get back in level terms as well, and you know, making sure that it is a quick return in terms of the ball going from their own box into the United box. You know, good defensive play from Van der Sande there, you know, getting himself back. They've all worked tirelessly, you know, getting themselves back to help out the defence, and it's been a really strong defensive performance from United on that occasion. That was an example of it.
How many players are in that 6-yard box just now, Willie? Practically on the goal line.
A lot.
Yeah, massive group of players.
It's a gang of them.
Yeah. In comes the corner. Oh, and it's clawed away by Walton, and behind for a corner on the other side. This time the Dundee left as they attack the goal tower left.
He's got enough on it, but I don't think he's judged it. You know, he wasn't under any pressure. I think if he'd judged it a bit better, he might have been able to actually hold on to that one. He kind of took a couple of steps forward when he really shouldn't have done it, but he managed to get something on it and just clear the danger.
McCowan will take an outswinger from this near side with the left foot. This time the biggest group of players is just to the right of the penalty spot. In from McCowan, away by Sibbald. Clears on the 6. And now to play for a throw into Dundee on this near side.
Yeah, it's a poor corner though, isn't it? I mean, you've got to test the defence. It wasn't tested on that occasion. He'll be disappointed with the delivery.
There's Lyle Cameron turning it out to this near side for Larkesh. We're in 61 minutes here. 2-1 United. Dundee continuing to try and find this equaliser. Portales, low ball forward there to Palmer Houlden. And there's a foul by him on Ferry, and that will be a free kick to United over on that far side. Don't think it'll be too long before changes are being made. There seems to be some activity on the Dundee bench right now. They try and figure a way of finding an equaliser for the second time today.
I think it's just been a poor performance. I mean, you know, Palmer Houlden on that occasion there, you know, he's not under any real pressure. He's just got to control the ball. It's a really heavy touch, giving possession away, and then he dives in and the foul is given. So that's an example, and there have been too many examples of that from the away side this afternoon.
Early ball into the Dundee box from the United left. And Ferry right through to McCracken. He holds on just at the edge of his box now. He rolls it to his right for Portales. Short ball to McGee. Right to Larkesh on this near side. Dink ball forward into the United half. The header from McCowan back into the midfield. One back by United from this near side. Sevels loses out this time. McCowan into the midfield again though. Palmer Houlden couldn't get onto it, so it's another wasted pass, wasted possession for Dundee. And then launched forward by United and behind for a Dundee goal kick, which McCracken will take. They lost a decent amount of players over the summer, Dundee. Rudden, Pineda, Byrne, Ashcroft, Kerr, Anderson. lone players like Dodson, Costello, Beck, Boateng, all leaving. Boateng pitched up at Hearts, of course, made his debut yesterday. They're down this near side for Dundee, looking for Murray. Sevels gives it away. It's now wide left for Murray. His cross is cut out by Gallagher. Right for a Dundee throw-in. Tiffany's going to come on, I think, by the looks of it, Brian.
Yes, he is. Yes, Scott Tiffany's been going through a fairly rigorous workout. He's replacing Ethan Graham. Certainly, Tony Docherty and his background team have been scratching their heads about how they get back into this game. The first sub is on, and it's Scott Tiffany replacing Ethan Ingram.
2-1 Dundee United. As Dundee make the change, pretty offensive looking change that. Dundee's number 7, Scott Tiffany, comes on to try and turn things their way. The fact is, they're just one goal behind, Willie.
Yeah, and they've had a lot of possession. They've had a lot of the ball in and around the United box as well, but they've done very little with it. I think that's the big issue. We'll be hoping that Scott Tiffany can come on and, you know, maybe create something with the amount of ball that they've had. You know, large amount of possession, but you know, really not good enough. Another wayward pass from Cameron, you know, on that occasion as well. And you know, it's just one example after the other of wayward passes from the Dundee outfit this afternoon. Tiffany's on, and I'm sure Tony Docherty will be hoping that that's going to change.
Finished 6th last season. Their bid to end a wait of more than 20 years without European football fell towards the final few matches of the campaign. Punishing defeat to St Mirren across the road at Dens did the damage in that regard, but top 6 first season back is to go down as relative success. It was the 4th time they've managed to finish top 6 since the split was introduced at the turn of the century. It's United on the ball on the left-hand side with the lead. Trapanovsky goes down, free kick to United, 25 to play of the 90.
Yeah, I mean, we've barely seen United as an attacking force in the second half. You know, only too happy just to defend their box and you know, defend it confidently. This gives them an opportunity. They've got the free kick. They're bringing the you know, tall central defenders up, and again, it's about the quality of the ball into the box to test that Dundee defence.
Babunski with the free kick, and the header towards goal, kept out by McCracken, who holds on. It's Van der Sande, just flicked towards goal. McCracken to be on his toes, there he was, as this long ball. Tiffany chases, Walton comes and dives down at the feet of the Dundee player, does just enough to get it clear, then up the other end McCracken comes outside his box and heads it out for a United throw-in on this near side. And the United keeper's down, Jack Walton, and he's going to receive some attention from the medical team. Must have stretched something, presumably, Willie, there as he came to the edge of his box.
Yeah, I don't think Tiffany made any contact with him. I think, you know, he came out. I thought he took a chance coming out. He made his mind up quite early to come out to the edge of his box, and then, you know, as the ball kind of slipped away from him just to the edge, just outside the box, he had to slide in and clear the danger, and I think that's where he's perhaps stretched or twisted something. So Jack Walton getting a little bit of treatment from the physios.
You make yourself a local hero in this fixture. I think of some of the ones that passed. Paul Sturrock's the record goal scorer in this fixture with 14. 2 more than Ian Ferguson, who played for both clubs. Kenny Cameron got 10. Ian Mitchell, Eamon Bannon scored 9 for United. Dundee's sole top scorers in the fixture: Andy Campbell, Jockey Scott with 8. And Ralph Milne, a certain Billy Dodds also managed 8 in this fixture, the latter for both clubs, at least for both clubs. And there'll be a throw-in eventually for United on this near side. Ross Graham to take in an attacking position. Jack Walton looks like he's going to be okay to continue. Jim Goodwin will be relieved about that. And Jack Walton on loan from Luton Town, back for a second stint. Fancied top table football here at Tannadice, and he's getting it handsome today. Throw-in United. Ross Graham pulls it into the Dundee box, headed away by Portales. Only as far as Ross Graham again. Flicks it to the edge of the box. Thompson's header forward towards the 6-yard line is cleared there by Luke Graham. And that's going to go behind for the corner. It's the United fans claimed for, and they've got their wish. And Dundee bringing Simon Murray back to help defend this. United know, and I think as Stephen Thompson was saying, another goal would surely win this game.
Yeah, you'd imagine that would be the case. I think the fact that United have defended so well, and the fact that Dundee's been so poor in trying to open them up most of this game, but United getting a little bit of respite, winning this corner.
Ferry and Babunski over it. It's Babunski with the outswinger. It's flicked away importantly by McGee. Knocked back towards the box by Trapanovsky through the legs of Holt, and it goes behind for the goal kick to Dundee, who have the final quarter of this game to try and save at least a point from it on the opening day. They'll be kicking off in Paisley round about now. St Mirren against Hibernian. We'll keep you up to date with that. Kerry Nidsan's in the stadium for us, so anything happens, you'll hear it here on Sports Sound. Celtic Kilmarnock is a 4:30 kickoff. Here's McCowan from distance, well wide with the left foot. Well wide. It's ambitious from Luke McCowan.
Yeah, I think he could go forward with that as well. I don't think he has to pull the trigger quite so early. He's got options too in terms of teammates that he could try to slot in. It's a rather frustrating kind of a strike he's had well wide of the far post there from McCowan. And I think you can see that as a captain, he's not happy with the performance this afternoon, and it's beginning to show, and he's getting a little bit frustrated.
Well, they've been out of the top flight for significant periods over the last 10 years, but United haven't won on the opening day of a top flight season since 2014. They hammered Aberdeen 3-0 at Pittodrie that day, albeit Aberdeen had played the energy-sapping European Tigers Real Sociedad a few days before that. Here is Tiffany for Dundee. Cross balls very deep towards the back post, and there was nothing that Palmer Houlden could do, and it comes off his toe and behind for a United goal kick. The quality just has not been good enough from the Dark Blues today.
Yeah, the idea was right to try to curl it towards the back post, but it's overhit again from Tiffany. Palmer Houlden really stretching for it, not being able to get any kind of a control on it, and yet again a promising opportunity for Dundee just dwindles away.
Mentioned the games in Paisley and Glasgow that are coming up this afternoon on Sports Sound, and we've got St Johnstone Aberdeen tomorrow at McDermott down the road from here. There's Larkesh with the header. It's now with McCowan, loses out to Sevelj. It's now with McCowan again though. As Dundee win it back promptly in the midfield. Sila into the centre circle for Portales. Side football with the right out to that right-hand touchline for McGee. Back with Portales. He's looking to see if there's options ahead of him, but United have done well to throttle the game in that regard this afternoon. Dundee unable to pick a way through. Here's Larkesh on this near side. Short ball to Tiffany, lovely spin away from Sevelj. He's now bursting into the box. It's brilliant from Tiffany, and his shot is blocked by a combination of Walton and Holt, and behind for a Dundee corner. That's why Tony Docherty threw him on.
Yeah, and it's the first occasion, isn't it, that we've seen a bit of skill from any attacking Dundee player there. And Tiffany, dipping the shoulder, getting on his right foot, he's striking it towards goal. The keeper Walton has got it covered, but Holt taking no chances, getting his boot behind it and clearing the danger. But promising for Dundee.
And comes the corner, and it's won by McGee, but he can only head it harmlessly wide. 18 to play, and another couple of changes coming, Brian.
Yeah, a couple of changes coming from the Dundee bench. Tony Docherty not happy at all. First player off is Lyle Cameron. He's been replaced by number 8 Josh Mulligan, and number 23 Sebastian Palmer Houlden, the goal scorer for Dundee earlier on. He's been replaced by number 9 Curtis Main.
Well, he's doing all he can, Tony Docherty. Curtis Main scored a hat-trick against Bonnyrigg in the League Cup groups right at the very start of the season. And former St Mirren and Aberdeen striker is on. Motherwell as well. Seems to have been around for ages. Curtis Main, various clubs. And also seen Josh Mulligan, another Dundonian in the Dundee ranks. A fixture that will mean a lot to him and his family, I'm sure, as McGee knocks it back to his goalkeeper, and McCracken decides to take on Trapanovsky. Another panicky pass out to Luke Graham, who's given it away. This all stemmed from the keeper. It's Thompson, pulls it back, and then the shot is blocked. United still sniffing around. McCracken has taken a sore one off one of his own teammates there. It was McGee. Neither of them were pretty decisive, it has to be said. And Dundee get away with one there, and in particular John McCracken. It stays United 2, Dundee 1. We can hear that entire Eddie Thompson stand behind John McCracken's goal, willing him to make another error.
Yeah,
and up the other end, a long ball, and Murray's in behind Ross Graham. Oh, Graham slides in! Down goes the Dundee player, but it's an offside flag on the far side. And it remains United 2, Dundee 1.
I was going from one end to the other. You know, Simon Murray eventually finding a little bit of space there, but it's a fabulous tackle, isn't it? From, was it Holt that put the tackle in? Ross Graham wasn't too sure, but it was one of the central defenders who managed to get the desperate challenge, and there was contact. It was offside, right enough, but at the same time, you know, it's an opportunity for Simon Murray. He hasn't had many opportunities. He hasn't been able to occupy space and run into the space. He did get that chance, and he had one a little bit earlier as well. So, you know, maybe that organisation, maybe the back three are beginning to lose.
Stephen Thompson, they're checking for a possible penalty here, and I think it all comes down to whether he's offside or not.
Yeah, it will do, because it's a very, very tight offside call, but for me it's a penalty kick. Ross Graham's tackle is mistimed. He catches Simon Murray in the ankle, so it really does come down right now to whether Simon Murray's stepped, and if he has stepped, it's, you know, you're talking inches offside as the ball was played up.
If they're checking it, Tomo, if they're checking this for a penalty, then presumably they've worked out he's onside.
Well, I don't know. We'll soon find out.
We'll soon find out, yeah. No, thank you. Well, I mean, it's a rash challenge from Ross Graham, Willie, isn't it?
Well, he slid in. It is a desperate challenge as Simon Murray got a little bit of space. I thought that he maybe got the ball first, but if we don't have a particularly great angle to see the challenge, it's at the other end of the pitch as well. But if he has to, there was definite contact, there's no doubt about that. But I thought he had got the ball first and then the contact came later. But if the contact was first, then yeah. If it's onside, it's a penalty.
Well, we wait to see. Dundee United, meantime, have another problem, because Vichko Sebelj is down, his game's done. And Brian McLaughlin will be able to confirm that Dundee United are going to have to make a change here, Brian.
Yeah, they are, Liam. Yeah, I've just had another look at that as well, and I think this will be a penalty kick, because it looks as if Simon Murray's foot...
Here we go, yeah. He's coming to look at it. As Brian was saying there, Simon Murray fouled by Ross Graham in the box, so clearly they've decided he's onside, and it's just a question of whether David Dickinson agrees with the VAR, Stephen McLean, that this is a penalty, that this is a foul. Stephen McLean clearly thinks it is. David Dickinson's down in front of us, looking at the monitor. Are Dundee about to be handed a lifeline? United have been the better team throughout the game. Dundee have had lots of the ball, but they haven't made best use of it. Simon Murray's already playing with the ball. Presumably, albeit we've seen the likes of Luke McCown take penalties for Dundee, you can imagine Murray will be wanting his shot here. Still we wait for the referee's decision. He's still looking at it. 9 times out of 10 he changes his mind.
It's fairly clear, Liam, to be honest with you, that it's a penalty kick. What wasn't clear was the offside. They didn't put the line in, so I've not been able to see whether or not. Clearly they've decided that it is onside, but they've not shown the line that they normally do.
He's made his mind up and he's given it. Dundee have a penalty and a chance to level for the second time. And it's all about the tenacity of Simon Murray. Stolen behind Ross Graham, hauled to the ground. He's onside and it's a foul, and Dundee have a penalty.
Yeah, it's a booking as well for Ross Graham, who put the challenge in. The referee took quite some time to make his mind up there.
Murray's leaving it for McCowan. The skipper's overruled him. And just said that Luke McCowan has taken penalties for Dundee. And latterly last season, Kai Fotheringham comes on and he replaces Sevelge. He's been made to wait a heck of a long time here, Luke McCowan. Knocking the ball about in his hands, about to place it on the spot. He's done that now. The man with the armband, such an impressive season last time around. Hasn't been his best game today. It might not matter a jot here if this goes in. Walks away from the ball. Walton with his arms in the air in the middle of his goal. Shed end at Tannadice. Clad in tangerine and black. But it's the man in dark blue who's going to take the penalty here. Left-footed. Here he goes. Luke McCowan scores! Right down the middle! Dundee back on terms for a second time at Tannadice. McCowan wheels away in celebration. Points up to the Dundee supporters down below us. And for the second time this afternoon, Dundee level the derby. It's United 2, Dundee 2.
Yeah, it's a big pressure one as well for the captain. He's taking that responsibility, left foot. He runs up, he does the little stop. The goalkeeper goes to his right and he just puts it right down the middle into the back of the net. So Dundee right back in this game.
Yeah, it's a cool penalty from Luke McCowan. United fans behind the goal there trying their best to put him off, but it was to no avail, and it's the dark blue half of the city that celebrates again. It's been a really good game, and there's still 10 minutes of it to go. 2 apiece. Here's Miller-Thompson, who slides it out to this near side for Van der Sande. Gets the ball in, comes off Silla. He was going to ground there. Did it come off his hand?
Yeah.
Was it a supporting arm? We'll find out. McCowan clears. Murray chases. Gallagher does too. Murray's going to get there first. Down by the corner flag. Manages to poke it to Tiffany. Tiffany's into the box. He's at the byline, just outside of the boot, looking to knock it back, but it's gone behind for the corner, off the defender. And suddenly, it's Dundee who have the tails up and are looking for a potential winning goal.
It is, and for probably the second or third time, it's Simon Murray again that's finding the space down this left-hand side, and he's occupying the space, and he hasn't been able to do that for most of this game, but he's beginning to just find that the Dundee United defence are a little bit all over the place, not as organised as they were in the first half and even the beginning of the second half.
Goalless in Paisley still 11 or 12 minutes in between St Mirren and Hibs. McCowan's corner, and it comes, it's headed for goal, it's just over. It was McGee. Listen to the Dundee fans now. They feel they can win this match. It's there to be won for either of these teams. I just wonder if Dundee United will live to regret almost sitting off Dundee. Yeah. A lot of big spells in this game.
I think that's been a tactic, though. That's been the way Jim Goodwin has wanted his team to play, is just to give the ball up, basically allow Dundee to have the majority of possession and ask questions whether they're good enough to open them up. And for large chunks of this game, they haven't been.
It's a long ball, Main and Murray chase, and eventually comes through to Walton. I think Murray had a little kick there in the aftermath of it, and the goalkeeper. He's play on the edge at times, Simon Murray. He and Curtis Main both chased that one down. And it's back with the Dundee United goalkeeper, Walton.
And that's what you've got, Liam, now. You've got the two strikers up there, and Simon Murray beginning to find that space. I mean, he looked out of it in the first half. He looked lacking in ideas how to break, the United defence down. But now all of a sudden he's found the pockets of space in behind, and United central defence three are not dealing with him at all. Even just that long ball through the middle there, it was mayhem, because you've got both of them. You've got Main and Murray running it to the three centre backs.
Well, we've got 7.5 minutes of the 90 still to play. 2 apiece, finely poised here. Knife edge stuff. It's Tiffany's header from the long Walton ball. Eventually needs to Larkesh. Long ball down the left. Murray will chase, but Walton's there, and you'll see it behind for the goal kick. Well, Jim Goodwin will be frustrated if they don't win this game, because they've had the lead twice. It looked as though the Miller-Thompson goal was going to be enough. They were just keeping Dundee at arm's length, but there was just a feeling perhaps that Dundee were going to be able to give a tiring United defence a bit more of a hard time going into these closing stages, just before they were awarded the penalty. Here's a chance for Mulligan, driving forward midway inside the United half now. He goes down. It's going to be a yellow card here, and it's Gallagher, and he's not complaining, which tells its own story. It's all about Dundee right now.
It is that, Liam, and you know, Gallagher is just he's just taken the Mulligan out the game. He's not even looking at the ball. It's a yellow card all day long. You know, but that composure that he had shown, you know, for the majority of this game is gone. The composure of defending with the back five, with the very solid centre three as well, has gone right out the window. And they're all over the place, and they've lost their discipline, and they've lost their shape. And you know, Dundee are looking at every time they go forward that they're going to take advantage of you know, Dundee not being as organised as they have been for most of this game.
Lost their discipline, lost their shape, could lose this match if they're not careful. McCowan is over a free kick 30 yards out, left-footed, takes a deflection, and Walton holds on pretty comfortably. It's to the left-hand side of his goal frame, the right as we watched, and it will stay at United 2, Dundee 2. But there's going to be a couple of potentially big changes coming up for United. Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, Richard O'Dada and Louis Moult are the players going to be coming on. Still waiting to see exactly who's coming off, Liam, but yeah, 2 United players coming on. Yeah,
here's Kai Fotheringham down the right. His cross is blocked. Was it by an arm? It was outside the box anyway, but it will be a corner. Fotheringham, who was the second only to Louis Moult in the scoring charts for United in the Championship last season. And as Brian so rightly says, Moult will be on now. And the other change is O'Dada. Shapanovsky's coming off for United, and the other player, they're going to bring off Miller-Thompson. They got their second, so the 2 goal scorers coming off. On comes the Kenyan midfielder O'Dada, who's been playing in the States before. Here he was at Philadelphia Union, albeit he had a loan at Aalborg in Denmark last term. He helped the club return to the top flight of Danish football. 6'3", on he comes. At his height to this United corner, which is taken by Babunski. It just gets away from O'Dada and then flicked clear really impressively by Larkesh. He's facing his own goal. He gets it away. United still have it though, and it's a long ball into the penalty area, which drops favourably for McCowan, who's able to clear. It was Will Ferry's cross. Long ball forward for Tiffany, couldn't quite get it under control, and United get it back, but only momentarily, because Sela is onto it, pushes it out to Mulligan on the far side. He can't find him though. 4 of the 90 to play. 2-2 in the derby. And another really good attendance here today. It started at the Falkirk Stadium on Friday. Fabulous crowd in for that one. Tynecastle yesterday was just about full to the rafters. 12,616 inside Tannadice Park for this one. Is there to be a winner? It'll be a point apiece.
I don't think any of the 2 teams are settling for the point though, are they? You know, they're still intent there from both sides to get forward as quickly as they possibly can.
Gallagher prevents the corner. It's a Dundee throw-in about level with the United 6-yard line over on that right-hand side. Jordan McGee's over it. That's 87 on the clock. Been plenty late drama in this fixture's history. Here's Mulligan down the right-hand side, battling for it, losing out though to Ferry. Another impressive league debutant today. Silla slides in, and Dada wins it back for United now, and they're away in the counter. It's aimed towards Fotheringham wide on the right. He gets onto it, but McCowan sticks with him brilliantly, and he's brought crashing to the ground, and he's having a go at Fotheringham too. And that will be a free kick to Dundee. I think out the two sides, I think Dundee would probably be the happier with a point, given they've been behind a couple of times today and haven't been at the levels Tony Docherty wants them to be at. So if they do take a point from this, then I think he'd be pretty content, wouldn't he?
I think that would be accurate, yeah. Although they've had a lot of the ball, Liam, they haven't looked like doing enough with it, and you know, they've been behind twice as well and have managed to fight back, and it looked the long spells that they were going to really struggle to break United down, but they found the answer. They've got that equaliser, although you know, I think both sides are still going for it. It's not like
they are,
you know, one is sitting back and is going to be content with the point. They want the 3 points. Both sides are still at it.
Yeah, and by the same token, they've come from behind twice. Dundee United have lost a lead twice, and that will irk Jim Goodwin. And here come Dundee down the left, flicked by McCowan, who's sprung to life in the last 20 minutes or so. Finds Tiffany wide in the left, chip ball into the box, comes off of Dada's head. Not once but twice. The second header was better. He gets it away. McCowan picks up, looking for an option in dark blue, bends the ball into the box with the left foot, headed away just outside the penalty spot there by Ferry. Now Larkesh, wide in the left, dig ball, again into the box, but too high for Maine. United clear. And McCowan with a header, but it's gone out for a throw-in to the home team on this near side. A few of the Dundee supporters down below us puffing out their cheeks there. We're in minute 90, just gone into it, and it remains Dundee United 2, Dundee 2.
Been very enjoyable though. It's been a good game of football, isn't it? You know, real high tempo, different styles, different approaches, different tactics from both sides, and you know, at times maybe lacking a little bit of quality, but you know, other times it's been pretty good, and the quality's been at a high level, and you know, and that's from both sides. At times not consistent enough, I don't think, and it looked as though United, with this kind of a very stodgy type of defensive setup, you know, we're going to take the 3 points, but Dundee, although nowhere near their best, you know, have never given up, and you know, managed to get back on 2 occasions to equalise, and looking as though that they still want to win this game.
Long thrown into the Dundee box is not clear by McCowan. I believe there's going to be 6 minutes added. By the sounds of things, we've just gone into the first. There it is, the confirmation. 6 minutes being added on at the end here. 2-2, still time. Fotheringham controls, right-hand side of the Dundee box, checks, turns away from goal, swings the cross in. Cleared by Portales in the 6-yard line. Sibbled back out to Fotheringham on this near side. He's up against Larkesh, level with the edge of the D of the Dundee box. Rolls it back to Ross Graham. Suddenly it's the home team coming down the hill here. Left-footed cross ball headed into the 6-yard area by Molt, gathered by McCracken. I think Jork van der Sande thought he was getting a penalty there, or he should get a penalty. He's gone to the ground. Dundee have a man down inside the box as well. So they're slugging it out, these two.
Yeah, Van der Sande was claiming, I think it was Portales, that maybe had a little bit of his jersey there. He went to ground, didn't see enough of it to give an opinion, but the referee was right in the spot and just waved the claims away.
Well, it's not often these two have met on the opening day of the season. This is just the 4th occasion. And they've served up the game of the weekend so far, and we're only halfway through the cards, such as the scheduling for this opening weekend of the Premiership season. Still goalless in Paisley between St Mirren and Hibs. Celtic Kilmarnock to come. St Johnstone Aberdeen tomorrow as Murray crosses into the box for Dundee. Headed away in the 6-yard line. McCowan heads it out to Murray, controls on the knee, left angle of the box, gets the cross in again. Headed clear. Been a minute and a half of the 6 that have been bolted on. Jordan McGee happy to let it trickle out for a Dundee throw-in, level with the United 18-yard line. Over on that far side in front of the George Fox stand. Bold short to Mulligan. Mulligan then back out to McGee on the touchline. McGee can play several different positions, playing over on that right backside, and Mulligan spins away from Babunski on the right foot, away from Ferry. Finds Silla at close quarters. Silla being challenged by Ferry over on the far side. It's very tight. Rolls it back to Portales. First time right foot cross ball comes in. Breaks Murray's way. What a save from Walton. Flags up anyway. Murray looks over and he's perhaps relieved that the offside flag has gone up, because he's got to put that in the net, and that could potentially had he been onside, have won the game for the D. It stays 2-2.
It's a big chance, isn't it? And you can see that he's disappointed. Even although the flag did go up, he was disappointed that he didn't find the back of the net with that one. It's just him, B. Walton, and he's got to show more composure. I would say that the last half hour of the second half, Simon Murray's been more like himself, managing to find these pockets of space. That was an example of it there, but perhaps just a little bit too early with his run forward.
United have it back, rolled by Kevin Holt down that left-hand side. Ferry gets the cross ball in. Out comes McCracken to hold on in the 6-yard line. United 2, Dundee 2. 3 of the 6 have been played at the end here in stoppage time. Here's Murray collecting left-hand side, outside of the boot ball. Main attacks it and he goes over the bar. He was being challenged. It may well go down as excellent defending, but Curtis Main, like Murray a minute ago, is left frustrated he's not tucked it home. This time there was no flag. It stays 2-2.
Oh, it's a huge chance, isn't it? You know, he's got under it, he's put it over the bar. It's Simon Murray again. You know, McCracken does great with his volley pass to Simon Murray down this left-hand side. Murray takes on the defender, he drills it across the face. Curtis Main comes in, he's coming in quick as well. He's got to the ball first, you know, against the defender, but he can't direct it on goal. He puts it way over the bar. Big chance so late in this game for Dundee.
United with Ross Graham are doing the attacking now. Long throw into the Dundee box is flicked clear. Tiffany completes the clearance, goes out for a throw in. There's still 2 minutes left. A minimum of 2 minutes left. 2-2. Breathless Derby at Tannadice. Throw in United. Ross Graham bowls it in again. Murray gets his head onto it in a defensive sense. Back to Ross Graham. Long high ball into the box. O'Dada's there. Moult goes down. Huge roar for a penalty. The ref's actually given Dundee a free kick. Main's on the ground. Louis Moult's asking why it's not a penalty to United to win it right at the last. It stays United 2, Dundee 2. It's been some game.
It has, yeah. You know, right to the end there, and the referee right in the spot to give the correct decision by the looks of it. You know, but it's just went from end to end. It's not been, at times it's been a case of a slow build-up when Dundee have had possession and they haven't really done enough with it. At other times it's just been ferocious. It's just went from one end of the park to the other, and invariably it's one box to the other box as well. So I think we've been well treated. The fans have been well treated this afternoon, and if it ends a draw, probably a fair result.
I was going to say, because it was probably United in the first half and Dundee in the second. A point apiece. Perhaps the fair result, as Willie says. We've got about 30 seconds left of the allotted 6 minutes that were added. There will be a little bit of time on top of that as well. But it's looking like the first 3 Premiership matches of the season are all going to end in draws. Still goalless in Paisley between St Mirren and Hibs. Long ball, McCracken. Last chance perhaps to win the game for one of these teams. Dundee can't take advantage. United clear. Down the left-hand side they have it. Babunski fires it forward to Moult. He's got O'Dada and he's got Van der Sande in the box. O'Dada's header and he puts it high and wide. It was Moult's ball in, and it's going to be a goal kick to Dundee. We've played the 6 minutes and David Dickinson blows the final whistle of a pulsating Dundee derby here at Tannadice. What a game it was. Twice United led the game in that burst of goals in the first half in the space of 9 or 10 minutes. Trapanovsky opening the scoring, putting a plate for him by Van der Sande. With Dundee equalising not too long after through Palmer Holden, who bundled in after Murray's shot was saved by Walton. United led pretty quickly after that anyway, and it was a fabulous ball across the face of goal from the impressive Ichko Sevelj. And the United Academy graduate Miller Thompson was there to tap home at the back post. 2-1 United it was at the break. Dundee were much better in the second half. The unforced errors were fewer. And when Simon Murray was brought crashing to the ground by Ross Graham, and after a lengthy VAR check, they were awarded a penalty, which was duly dispatched by Luke McCowan. And Tony Docherty will leave Tannadice, having seen his team come from behind twice, to pick up a point, and it is a point for Jim Goodwin and Dundee United on their top flight return. Dundee's more than 2-decade-long wait for victory at Tannadice will extend, but perhaps they'll be quite happy that they're at least taking something across the road to Dens. Finishes here after an excellent opening day fixture in the Dundee derby at Tannadice. United 2, Dundee 2.
On digital.